discipline is doing something when you don't feel like doing it.
It's ridiculous because that word was a dirty, dirty word. And now you say it and it still sounds bad.
Everybody, please subscribe because we're diving into Jeff's life. And he shared in our last episode that he's separated, and we went into some details regarding the separation that he's currently undergoing with his wife. And it was a very emotional episode. He got into the level of selfishness and denial that he was in during his entire life up to this point. I really admire his courage for being able to speak on this. And he's the one who came to me and said that he wanted to open up. And I felt like it was incredibly humble of him to do so. But his desire is to really help other people. So, he's going through a lot of pain right now in regards to this, and he doesn't want other people to experience that pain. But on the flip side, he knows that the pain he's experienced is making him a better person. So, there are two sides to every coin. But in this episode, I really want to touch on the idea of sort of what's propelled Jeff throughout his life up to this point. And it was I coined the phrase just in talking to him, a pathological avoidance of discomfort, because it's permeated every aspect of his life. When things got hard, he got going. And it didn't matter if it was in his marriage or his job or with himself. Anytime anything got difficult, he would turn the other way. He would put it aside. He would procrastinate. He would just forget about it. And if you forgot about it, you don't have to do it. And so many people are experiencing this in their lives. It's preventing them from becoming their best self. It's ruining relationships with spouses, with friends, at work. It's causing job losses. It's causing divorces. And we're tackling this issue because this is something that Jeff has experienced literally his entire life up to this point. And he really does not want other people who are in that situation to sleepwalk throughout the rest of their lives. He wants people to wake up. So I just want Jeff to give some insight. Before I do that, I just want people to know that what he's going to speak on today in regards to his past self, as we'll call it. He's done so much. He's with me now. He's staying with me during the separation for a period, and weight loss has been a focus of his. For 42 weeks, we've been doing videos on weight loss from prior to the separation. And he's been building skills and he's been burning fat. And as of the recording right now, he's 45.2 pounds lost. And tomorrow's another weigh-in. And he's hoping to maybe hit 50. So 45.2 pounds lost, starting at 354. So he's done an incredible job, but in the past few weeks, he's really done an amazing job with me at facing discomfort and overcoming it, because he's really exercising a level of discipline that I've never seen from him. It's really impressing me. It's not something I'm making him do. I'm not compelling him to do it. It's not in exchange for being here. There's not, he literally is doing this because he wants better for himself. And he's the type of effort that he's putting forth when it comes time for his walk, where he normally would say, it's hard. I don't feel like doing that. It takes effort to walk, just to walk at this size. The size, he's still over 300 pounds. So it takes a lot of effort to be able to move that body. And I don't really want to do it. He just wouldn't do it. Now, when it comes time to walk, he feels the resistance. He feels like, I'm not going to be great, not going to be fun, but I'm going to do it anyway. So he's been doing the opposite of what he's been doing, and I'm so proud of him. I really am. And I just seeing this progression in his life from where he was, and I've known him for 30 years. So I saw this on the other side. I saw it for a very long time. These were things that weren't hidden from me. I saw them, but I looked past them and I saw his heart, and I know he's a good person. But there was a really a level of a pathological avoidance of discomfort. That's seriously laziness, you want to call it, but laziness is it's a more broad term. I like to really focus on the fact that if it's uncomfortable, because he can work hard towards things that he's really passionate about, but when he gets uncomfortable, when it's not something that's, in his words, fun, because he used that word a lot. Even used that word with a therapist, like I just want fun, like I want things to be fun, I want my relationship to be fun. Fun is the opposite of discomfort. So something's fun, that's pretty easy to do. Anybody could do that. But it's uncomfortable. I don't feel like doing that. I'll do something fun instead. And that got him into a lot of trouble in his life, jobs, relationship, etc. So just talk about this with us, Jeff. The struggle against, and I don't even say a struggle because through your entire life, it was sort of had a blind eye to it all. But just fill us in, dude. How are you now that I bring this up? And I'm just gonna hand the floor over to you and just see what you're thinking regarding the idea of when discomfort comes, you get going.
So, I mean, just again, within the last 2 weeks, I've had an awakening, and this has really inspired me to bring this to other people because I know there's other people affected the same way I have been or similarly, and living in denial, living less than their best self. And I know we can help people. I know we can help people. So that's one of the reasons why I'm feeling good about doing this. But yeah, I mean, just coming to awareness was literally, it sounds so simple, but that's the first step to making this situation better. And I had to hit a rock bottom before that. For me, that's what I needed before I could address even the awakening in facing what the reality was. And I just want I want them to face it before it does more damage to the people around them and ultimately themselves, like it did to me. And you've brought that level of consciousness to me over the last couple weeks after I hit my rock bottom, and I'm blessed for it. I'm blessed that I basically have the benefit of your services to, at round of the clock, basically right now. I'm staying with you I'll be staying with you probably for at least a month. I've already been with you for the better part of the last month. So I'm just kind of taking it, a week at a time, a month at a time right now. But that's been more valuable than any therapist I've ever worked with or anything like that. So I just got to give you praise for that. And yeah, so the awakening was the first step, and it really it opened me up to see things for what they were. And once you actually, you can hear people tell you what they are. I'm certain that people that love me tried to tell me and catch me. I know you're one of them. And I have other close relatives that love me. I mean, for those who have not seen anything else, you're a brother to me. And, but my blood, related folks have, my sister and, my wife, at minimum have tried to intervene and tell me things at times. I'm aware of that much now, looking back, what they were seeing. And so I could physically hear what they were saying, but it did not resonate because the blinders were so strong. And those have been taken away. And now I am much more present, in a different state of mind. I'm in a better state of mind. I'm awake is the way I can put it. I woke up to life. And now when you wake up to life, it's a decision. It's, do you do you want this to go the right way or the wrong way? And when you have that choice, and it's a conscious choice now. I was literally not conscious of the damage I was doing. If I was, I'm certain I would have made the right choice before. And I don't say that to be an excuse, but I do say that sincerely, that if somebody's in the situation that I was in, look at yourself close. Please look at yourself close. I think my weight loss is a part of this. I was able to block everything out. I was able to block out challenges I experienced in life that anybody who loved me could see. Challenges with my weight, and those closest to me, challenges with how I handled money and handled emotion. So all those things are interrelated, and I'm waking up more and more to that. But people who love you the most are trying to probably reach out to you right now, and you may hear it. And I just hope you let some of that sink in. And if they're reaching out to you, try to pay attention and try to dial into it and give yourself an honest look at it. Because if they love you, if you trust them, then they're probably right. And I didn't even give that a second thought. I was dismissive of those things because I was so protective of, in some way, shape, or form, of myself, and I didn't want to feel, and I didn't feel life. I wasn't fully present the way I could have been. I had feelings. I could experience joy at a high level. I could experience pain. Within the last year, I've experienced the loss of my mother, who I had ultimate respect for and love for, and great relationship with. And I experienced that pain. I felt that. But and then I've had moments of great joy. The birth of my children, or a highlight. I've had a range of experiences and emotions throughout life. But the way I woke up here recently, I just know that I have not lived the life the way I'm supposed to. I have not experienced life the way I'm supposed to or meant to. And grateful that I'm figuring that out, at least now. It's sad. It's sad to come to the reality that it's this late in life, but better late than never. And it's happening for a reason. And I may not know all the reasons of everything, but I do have faith, and that's growing by the day. And I'm grateful for that as well. And I'm eager to see where it takes me. I'm just embracing a day-by-day growth mentality, growth mindset. I understood the growth mindset conceptually, and I've embraced it, and I've even coached it before. I've worked with kids in educational environments for most of my career, and I have my own children, and I've counseled kids a great deal, and leaned into that mindset. I believe in it wholeheartedly, but application to myself was just not in the mix until very recently. So that inevitably is what has got me digging my way out of a lot of holes, including my closest relationships and in the weight loss journey that you're following and helping me through as well, that you've been working with me on for nearly a year. So I'm certain that if I was in touch with reality all this time, that these things would never have gotten to the level they got to, which was out of control. And so that tells me I was out of control. And I literally was not fully aware of it all along. But I'm here now. I'm present. I'm aware, and I'm doing something about it now that I'm aware. Once that switch flips, you have the decision. It's actually a conscious decision now, and it's a decision. You get to make. It's a privilege I get to make now. Like, is it going to be a good day that's productive, or is it going to be a day wasted that is not moving me towards my goals? And once that switch has flipped, I'm just stringing days together of victory. I'm winning every day because I want to. That's what I want. That's it. Like, I need to win day after day after day, and that's gonna lead me closer to what I want in life, what I want to achieve, what I want to have. And so, when you boil it down that simple, it's literally a choice of your self-destruction, or not only self-preservation, but your ability to be your best. And when it's that simple, who would ever choose anything but being their best? I don't know.
Well, generally, when someone's looking to seek out pleasure and avoid discomfort, if somebody challenges them on that, tries to push them to do something that's not so pleasurable and has some discomfort, pride can well up as a defense mechanism to push that person away by saying, oh yeah, I'll do it, but then don't do it. Or I don't think that's really necessary to do. Or I don't think that's my job. I'm not going to do it, whatever it may be. So talk about the level of pride that built up to defend yourself against the people, whether it's your wife, whether it's a boss, whether it's you, because you have a relationship with yourself that was weak, and you telling yourself what to do, you can say, no, I'm not going to do that to yourself. I'm gonna go for a walk. I'm going to eat less carbs. No, I'm not going to do that. And you don't do it. And that was 30 years of that. So talk about the relationships with the people in your life, including yourself, where you're faced with this sacrifice versus pleasure, and how you dealt with how the pride would well up in as a defense mechanism to just keep doing what you've always been doing.
Yeah, I think I'll just try to go in order that you just presented. I mean, at the workplace, I had a very upward trajectory for a long period of time in my career. Over a decade, was moving up the ladder, so to speak, and had great relationships with supervisors. And then, things started to turn, for the better part of the last 5 years. And, I deflected that. I haven't really explored, since I've taken this new mindset and become more aware, I haven't really explored, what level, I would attribute to others. I'm really focused on myself. I'm certain that I played a much larger part than I would have ever given myself credit for the challenges that I experienced. And I would have never seen any of that before. And it's not that I'm a bad worker. It's not that I don't have a work ethic or that I'm lazy. I would just say that I have aspects that I embrace more strongly than others in any role, and I can really thrive in those aspects. But I, even within a position, if it's a task that's less fun or meaningful to me, then that's easy for me. That was easy for me to justify as just push that down the list of priorities. I've got other things on my list to do, and I'm going to focus on the ones that I find most rewarding. And that does not serve you well when you're working for somebody else. So In the workplace, it's very destructive. It's been very destructive for me. I've had multiple situations where I've been chased out of different places one way, shape, or form, or not been comfortable. Again, I've been in places where I have been comfortable for long periods of time, but that's been the trend here most recently for about 5 years. And then that contributed to, in many ways, challenges in my personal relationships and closest relationships, and ironically, fear of damaging the closest relationships was what got me to where I am too. Where I am losing potentially completely the closest relationships. So yeah, it's a twisted irony, because the biggest fear and most painful thing that I could have ever imagined taking part in my life, that I would have done anything to prevent, is literally what this caused. And that's why I feel so strongly about trying to help anybody who's willing to listen, because they probably are feeling the same way. They don't want to hurt others. I never would ever want to hurt somebody. You know that about me. That's why we've been brothers for over 30 years. And folks who have gotten to know me on any kind of level more than surface know that I have a good heart and I love. And so it's tragic to see this. I mean, if the more I become conscious, the more I can look at it from the outside. And it's a sad story. It's a sad story. So I don't want sad stories. I like the happy endings. I like the movies with the happy endings. I like the life stories with a happy ending, and I'm trying to make one myself right now. And then, the last, I guess, to touch on your question, was relationship with yourself. I mean, that was the easiest one to tune out. That was the easiest one to say no to. At work, it didn't look like I was saying no. I wouldn't necessarily I would never outright say no to an authority figure at work. I would never say no. It wouldn't look like that. It would be just pushing tasks down the list, and I even thrived, even get recognition from people in good ways for things I've accomplished and things I've helped do. But that doesn't add up necessarily to what it needs to. And then, in relationships, the closer the person is, probably the more damage you're doing to the level of trust, to the breakdown in communication. And that's never my intention. And I know anybody who is in the same situation is probably the same way. I always rested on, my heart, knowing that I had a good heart. I've known that my entire life. I was blessed by God with a great heart, and I never had ill intentions. And I always said that, I don't mean harm. So that was my justification to myself. I don't mean any harm, so that's okay, right? I mean, but it's not enough. And so, but when you're then, again, going back to when you're negotiating with yourself, it's not even a negotiation. It's, you brought me to this awareness, the conscious versus the subconscious, and my subconscious was running the show, and it was, my emotions were dictating everything. It was just what I want when I want, without filter and without regard for what's best for me or anybody else. And that's very destructive. It killed me, man. It really wrecked a lot. And, now that I have awoken to that, I'm ready to change it all. It's really a remarkable flip of the switch. But yeah, it was easy. It was actually very easy. I was never disrespectful in direct terms with even with my wife. I don't think I ever swore at her. I never was negative, directly negative to a supervisor at work or somebody I care for in my relationship. It was never like, no. I was never stern or mean like that, or just defiant like that. But it looks different. And so I think that's also something I believed in my heart was that's probably a sign, if you show those things, then that's probably, the red flag, right? Like you're probably doing something wrong. But if you're not doing those things, that's justification to say you're not on the wrong track. You're okay. You're treating people respectfully. You care about people in your heart. You don't mean them harm. So you're probably okay, but you're fooling yourself. And I was, and with me negotiating with myself, like you said, if you told me, if you do these steps, if you take these steps to take care of yourself a year ago, I would have brushed it. And you say I can help you live longer. That didn't even mean then what it means now. I didn't have the concept of literally life or death, like the magnitude of that, like I do now. I literally did not understand. You'd always say this. You said this a long time ago to me, you're on a path that's dangerous and I'm really worried about you. And I heard you, but I didn't feel you. And I'm sorry for that, dude. I know I hurt you with that. I know now better than ever. And I may not even all the way know now, but I'm getting there. What that felt like for you, because I love you and I love other people. And if I was trying to help somebody I love save their life, I'd be desperate to save them. And you were trying all this time, man, and I couldn't hear it. I could look at you and I could hear it with my ears, but I couldn't hear it with my heart and soul, man. It was that thick.
Well, think of what I was asking you to give up. It was all you ever knew. From a little kid, you pursued food as a way to avoid pain, and the food was a bonding element. As long as I had the food, I could feel closeness to something, and I could avoid the negative emotions associated with what's really happening inside. And for me to bring it up just in the realm of your life's on the line, you really got to get a hold of this. I'm scared that I'm going to lose you. That in and of itself should catch someone's attention. But when the flip side of that is you'd have to give up something that's your lifeline. I'm holding on to something that works for me. It helps to numb the pain. It helps me avoid pain before I even have a chance to feel it. As long as I can turn to carbohydrates, as long as I can turn to food, as long as I can turn to junk food, desserts, whatever it may be, fast food, I don't have to feel anything negative. I can just feel the exhilaration that comes with that all day long, because I can always look forward to the next meal. There are no boundaries on my food, none whatsoever. I can eat anything I want when I want it. And ultimately that becomes the way out. And that was your way out throughout your entire life from when you were a kid. And I'm bringing up the fact that you're killing yourself. And of course, if how's it going to resonate when the flip side of that is you got to do something to address this particular behavior, because that behavior you felt was part of who you are. It's my lifeline. If I give this up, what do I have left? And you don't even go through the thought process. It's not that you thought this out, like, oh, if I give that up, it's the one am I going to lean on? No, it's subconscious. It's like you tune it out. The subconscious mind holds on to that food as a coping mechanism and does not give up on it by just, whenever I mention your life, you just forget about it. You don't even think about it. You don't process it. It's like nothing was ever said. You hear it, but you don't feel it. Just like you said, that's exactly what was happening. It was going into your ears, but it was not being processed by your mind.
Not at all.
At all. And I could see it in your eyes. When I would say it to you, there was nobody home. Like, you were just staring at me, but you were staring through me. You weren't, because internally it's like, let's just get this over with. It's like, this just, okay, I know. But you were very, you never snapped. I just could tell that it wasn't sinking in at all. And it wasn't processing. So yeah, it was very hard to get through to someone when that's their addiction. And you're talking to somebody who is leaning on this to get through life. I can use this food whenever I get uncomfortable. And like I said, pathological avoidance of discomfort. When I get uncomfortable, I turn to the food. The food is my way out. So talk about the transition from the food as a way out to actually feeling your way throughout life, to the point where I can actually allow these emotions to sink in, the emotions I was trying to avoid for all this time. Like, I didn't want to experience anything negative. So the food was my way to escape that. And now that you're not using food that way, and you haven't been now for some time while we're together, and there have been many periods over the past 42 weeks where you have done that, you're building up skills. So just talk about the life now, especially with awareness, in comparison to the way it was before, when you never thought about any of these issues. I mean, you actually said to me a few weeks ago about how this is adding years to your life. Like, I'm actually being able to live longer for my kids and for myself and for my family and for my wife and for me, to be able to live longer by doing this. And you actually pointed something out to me that I, 42 weeks ago, pointed out to you, as I have several times prior, and it wasn't resonating. But now you're telling me. So talk about the transition to this.
Yeah, it's the wild is the first word that comes to mind. It's just wild, eye opener. And once the switch is flipped, once you wake up, it's for me, it's a complete shift in everything. And with regard to habits, I'm taking on different habits immediately. Like, it's not even like, in my previous state of mind, I could never imagine some of the things that I'm doing now, and the things that I'm doing now don't even seem like a challenge. Like, I had terrible habits just to, with like fast food. I'd stop by after work to grab fast food almost, very habitually, almost daily, or something like that. And just, to cope with stress. That's all I thought it was, the worst case, when I was the most conscious at that point, it would just be like, okay, I'm stressed out, but this is my coping mechanism or whatever. That was high level where I stayed. I didn't go any deeper until you helped me get there. And, so I just left it there. But once this switch flipped and I woke up and, had to face reality, I mean, I'm taking on a different life, just mindset, man. I'm here, I'm present, and I realize what I want, and I'm making those things happen. I'm taking a daily approach to life. I'm just living in the moment. I have things that I want to accomplish in the longer term, including the weight loss. I want to be healthy. So I'm looking at, what are the things that I can accomplish within a day that's going to help me get to what my long-term goals are. And it starts every day with exercise. You had issued me a challenge of getting to 10,000 steps minimum every day. And so I'm knocking that out first thing when I get up. And I started that a couple weeks ago. And, at first it's kind of a daunting task and physically even, but mentally. And as I go further into this, I realize mental is really where it's physical, and where it's challenging is mental. And now it's increasingly, with every day I do it, it's easier, physically and mentally. So it's literally just facing it and starting. It's waking up and getting out the door. Once you just pass a certain threshold, you've made it. Like you get it done. Like you make a decision and then you execute. And, as time goes on, it gets easier and easier and easier. And I just want to tell people that because, somebody's probably worse off than I was physically right now, thinking about, is it worth it for me to start? Yes. Hell yeah, dude. Like, just start. It may not be 10,000 steps, dude, whatever it is, man, 500 steps, 1,000 steps, whatever it is, start with that and gain confidence in everything you're doing, just a day at a time. And then, once that becomes easier, and you'll naturally be motivated to do more. You'll be like, okay, I can handle this. Like I want to do more. I want this goal in the long term. So I want to speed this process up. And that's happened with me in the weight loss, with the diet. I've had multiple visits with you, prior to my separation. And I feel like, through this last, 42 weeks that I've been on that journey, there's been progressing level of discipline incorporated throughout, right? But I've reached unprecedented levels here in the last month where exercise has been incorporated on the highest level it's ever been intentionally, and diet has been restricted, but I wouldn't even use the word restricted, but just disciplined on a level that I would have never dreamed possible before. And I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. It's because we've addressed, I feel like it, and you can tell me if I'm wrong because I trust you 100%, but I feel like it's because we've addressed so many of the things that were the root cause, and I'm overcoming those, and it clears the way for me to wake up and see things for what they are and realize that I'm in control. And if I want to do something about this weight, then I just got to get up every day and do what I need to do. I need to get my exercise in. I need to control my diet. I'm in control of this. And when I continue to string those days together, I'm going to jump on the scale at the end of the week and it's going to be a win. It's going to be a significant win depending on my level of tolerance and, for discipline. And my level of tolerance for discipline is at an unprecedented high right now. Like I'm in the midst of the hardest chapter of my life. I'm actually able to discipline myself in with you, and I'm with you staying for a few weeks. And, it's such a blessing. I tell you that all the time, but with surrounded by loving, caring environment and processing through all this stuff, I have found a level of discipline within myself that I've never had. And I'm attacking this with an intensity that is hopefully inspiring to other people. I mean, it's working, man. I'm hoping for a 5-pound weight loss this week or more. And I've had a couple of those in the last couple weeks. So, and those results motivate me further, you know? So it's just like, I'm learning that I did not fully love myself, not even close. And we need to love ourselves. I used to think that sounded selfish, but you really have to love yourself on purpose. You got to love yourself, take care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And if you do those things, you're probably not going to be finding yourself in the situation that I am in right now, or was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and loving yourself also allows you to love others well. And people don't realize that a lot of people who don't love themselves and look like they're loving others and look like they're loving others well are doing things for other people so that they can feel loved. Like their gateway to that euphoria of feeling like they matter is doing things for others and getting positive affirmations for it, as opposed to first and foremost developing a close connection with yourself and a love for yourself. So that way you're not seeking anything from anyone and you're truly able to give because you're not seeking anything in return. You got it all right here. And so that's a very important transition to make. But as you were saying earlier, getting started with anything, whether it's walking, anything that's difficult, anything that's challenging, the things that you would turn away from in the past, the moment that they would come up, before you ever started, you would just literally move in the opposite direction, turn for the donuts, whatever it may be, to get away from it as quickly as you possibly could. But what you've learned in this transition is that if you can get through the initial, and it doesn't take much, it's the initial start that's the most difficult. It's actually pushing play, pushing start, pushing go. It's getting out the door for the walk. Mm-hmm. It's getting off the couch and leaving the house. It's that. That's the hardest part. The hardest part is just movement is in that direction. An object in motion stays in motion. The moment you start moving, what happens? You keep moving. But if you don't start moving, you're never going to move. So literally, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And you have practiced that now over and over again. The getting up and leaving the house to walk, the focusing on the meal structure that we've designed, focusing on that and following that and not deviating from that, just executing that. The execution, the actually movement in that direction is what gets you there. And you're executing that consistently now, and it's building certain wiring in your brain to be able to do that in a wide range of areas, because you're building the skills you've never had before. You've never stepped up to challenges the way that you are now. In the past, it was always, I'll brush them aside. I'll either ignore them, I won't think about them, or I'll use food to numb them out. And then I won't have to think about them because I'll be thinking about the food and I'll be having a great time. But we've taken all that away. And now you're actually at a position where you can train yourself to literally embrace that first step. And then you see the consequences. The consequences of it is you're getting, for example, with steps, you're getting 10,000 a day, and you're getting them consistently. And you feel, when you're about to do your walk, you feel a little bit of resistance. You feel that bit of, oh no, here we go again. And it's that old, it's how do I deal with that? I can either just not do it, or I can numb it out, or I can actually do it. Get started, and you get started, and you've been getting started over and over. That's building your muscle, the getting started muscle that you can apply to every area of your life.
It's awesome because, a couple weeks ago that getting started really was, there was a level of anxiety that went with that. And, uncertainty, like, am I going to make it? Am I going to be able to finish this? Am I going to be able to do this? Or do I really want to do this? And now it just, it's literally easier by the day. It's literally easier by the day to get out the door and start. and it's literally easier by the day to execute. And it's probably more gratifying by the day when it's done. So it's like every day you string together is better. And it's like, I see value in all of it. I see value in not stopping. Like I think it's important that I don't have long lapse from this. I'm kind of I'm on a 5-day straight routine on the weekdays, and give myself a break on the weekends. And as long as I'm on that routine, like Monday will probably be harder, right, than Friday or whatever. But I mean, I know, like I know enough now, and in my conscious state, like Monday, it doesn't matter really how you feel, dude. You just got to get it done. You got to get it done. Like it's that knowledge alone and the presence will power me through anything. I mean, a week or two ago, I think it was a Monday, and it was raining, it was cold, and it was nasty. And I didn't have a plan. I don't live here full time, so I didn't have a plan for where to go indoors. And I just took it, man. I just took it outside. I took a towel and I just walked for 10,000 steps outside in miserable weather, because I was determined. And that gets stronger as time goes on, as you continue on the path, man. But it doesn't happen. It can't happen if you don't start. You just got to start, man. Start with a goal, no matter how small or simple it is, and then build on it, man. Like, I'm lucky probably compared to some, and there's some that are in way better shape than I am, but it's not all about weight loss, but whatever it is, this all applies. And I feel like this probably applies to anybody with any kind of addiction, right? I mean, whatever your goal is, just take a positive step towards it and build consistency with one step at a time. And then, that's what I've observed in the weight loss journey too, is like, I've taken away a bad habit here, and it's actually stuck after a couple weeks, right? I've become conscious of the benefits of an exercise here. So that sticks. And then you put those two together, and then, wow, that really speeds the process up. And I mean, in this last month, I've had a record speed of progress in that regard. So that's applicable to anything moving forward that I want to accomplish. And I'm eager to put that to work now that I make these connections. I see what I've been missing, and I don't want to miss it anymore. I want to actively participate in my progress every day. I don't want to miss. Every day is an opportunity, and it's a blessing. And I want to make the most of my blessing. When I wake up, I want to do what I'm intended to do. I want to make myself the best I can make myself, and I want to make the best contribution that I can make. And sitting on the couch is not it. That's not going to cut it. It's not good enough. Like, I have more purpose. There's something else more meaningful for me to do. And, bad habits, I'm pushing those away. I've been pushing those away consistently here very recently, and making room only for good habits and good practices. And it's changed me, man. It's quickly changing things for the better. My heart is lighter. I feel like a new person, and there's no room for negative, man. It's only going to be positive here forward. And when that happens, I can't wait to see what the future has in store for me, because I've never looked at life this way. I've never lived with this level of intentionality, and I am a positive person. I've always been, considered myself one, but I haven't projected it the way I should have to the people around me. And it's embarrassing to admit that, but it's true. And I've come to that realization, and I'm just committed to fixing it. I mean, and now that I'm aware and I'm awake and, I can do something about it, then I'm taking control. I'm going to do it. It's that simple.
Finally, my friend, you got a taste of discipline. The pesky D word. The word that would make you cower in your boots every single time I would bring it up. And it wasn't very often because I knew it wasn't going to get you very far at that and your state of mind at the time. But honestly, you're living it. Discipline is doing something when you don't feel like doing it. And you're doing it every day. You're doing it. When you don't feel like doing something, you're doing it anyway. So literally that's it. It's not any more complex than that. But it was something that you didn't want anything to do with for the better part of 49 years.
It's ridiculous because that word was a dirty, dirty word. And now, I mean, like you say it and it still sounds bad, but like, it's not even, once you cross this threshold, it's not even like what it sounded like. You know what I mean? It's not even as hard as it sounds when you're where I was. It's not even that hard, I don't know how else to describe it. It's just not that hard. Like, wake up in the morning. I know I'm going to get my walk in. So it's like it's already a decision made. So, it's not even like, I can't believe, but it's like not even hard. Like, like, would I rather, I don't know what, do something else? Maybe, yeah. But at the same time, like, I have crossed a threshold with that I see the value in it so strongly that, like, it's not an option. I have to do it. Like, I want to do it. Like, cause I know it's going to help me accomplish my goals. It's a part of the process. Something we haven't talked about today is definitely a part of it is like, I used to have the mindset of I need like immediate results. I want to lose 10 pounds in a week, get me there. What do I have to do? And then 2 days later, or maybe not less, I'm like, let's order a pizza, so, but I have literally gotten to the point where it's a one day at a time mentality. And I think that's an important part of this. Like, to really embrace, you gotta just take it one day at a time. You gotta tune out. That's what I'm doing. I'm tuning out everything that could possibly be toxic or negative on purpose, because I feel like I have to be on purpose with it because there's so much negative around us. There's so much. It's like it's coming from every angle that we're not even conscious of what it is and how much there is of it. And but now that I'm so aware, I'm just like, I'm refusing that with vigor. I just refuse the negative source of, the media and anything. Like, I'm not going to engage in negativity of any kind, like, because I'm not letting room in my heart or soul or mind for that. Like, I need everything to just be positive, and I'm in control of what goes in and out of me. And that's a part of it, man. Like, that's a big part of it. So I let too much negativity in mindlessly. And now that my wits are about me, I choose not to let that in at all. It's a dramatic shift. So I'm probably going to be a lot more fun to hang out with than I was before. And I know you didn't see the worst from me that other people might have, but I only see it going up from here with anybody that I'm associated with, because I'm just going to be recycling positivity, dude. And, I'm only taking in good, and I'm only going to send out good. It's going to be pure. That's what I want. And I wasn't, present enough to really synthesize all that, but now I am. So it's a decision, and anything I want from here on out, I can see it for that. I can see it as just simple as deciding what you want and what does it take to get there, and take it one step at a time and get it.
We're going to talk about this in a future episode, but so many people are focused on fighting battles externally. I'm going to fight with this person because I think that I'm right politically, but I think I'm right about anything, and you're wrong and I'm right. I'm going to convince you that you're wrong. It happens online all the time. There are people arguing in message boards and in threads and in comments, and one person trying to convince the other person that how misguided they are, back and forth, wasting your time trying to convince somebody whose mind's already been made up over and over again. External fights. The only battle that matters is the one in here. It's the battle that you have with yourself. And by fighting, by taking the time and the effort to argue over and over with people externally, guess what you're ignoring? The internal battle.
Yeah.
The internal battle that can make you a great human being, that can cause you to turn your entire life around. And what are you doing? You're fighting the internal battle. For the first time ever, you're focused 100% on fighting all of the battles that are going on inside of you, and it's making you great. And I just want you to know that. We will cover this in a later episode. But to wrap up here, I want you to talk about how you feel now on your diet. You're not entertaining yourself in ways that you entertained yourself with before. How do you feel now compared to before, compared to the prior you, the you that was eating anything he wanted, whenever he wanted, the you that would dabble in some gambling, would buy things that he wanted to buy whenever he'd want to buy them, not thinking of the consequences, the guy that would ignore responsibilities? What about this version of you versus that version of you? How do you feel? Is a burden? Are you now carrying around all this responsibility that's making you wish you could go back?
No.
Or tell me, tell me in your own words, the difference between then and now.
Then it would have felt, I would have perceived that it was a burden, right? To grow up and face responsibility of any kind. But now I would say I feel free. I feel free. I feel lighter, literally, lighter, but like in my heart. And I feel peace on a high level. And that's really what I'm after. That's really what I'm in daily pursuit of, is just peace, and everything else I know will fall into place where it's supposed to. If I chase peace, I don't need to chase so hard anything else. Just take care of loving myself the right way, loving everybody I encounter the right way. Find my inner peace every day and stay tuned into it. And it's a blessing, man. I'm free. I'm free from drama and negativity. And I'm never, like, once you feel the difference, I'm never gonna go back ever. Like, I cannot, because I'm awake, I'm conscious of all this, and I literally, having this awareness, I could never make the decision to go to that again.
Instead of escaping reality, you're now running towards it. And it makes all the difference in the world. It really does. Everybody, please subscribe. We're having very important conversations here that can be life transforming for anyone who allows them to be. And we're going to continue these conversations with Jeff, and he's continuing to make strides in the right direction. I'm extremely proud of him. Everybody share these videos too with anybody you know who you think might benefit. Comment below with any questions, and I will send them to Jeff, and we'll try to address them on the air. We'll anybody is curious about anything regarding his life or regarding his transition from that stage to this stage or anything else, just please feel free to ask. We just want to help other people, who are in similar situations, and there's millions of them out there. And I just really commend you for wanting to share your story and for caring so much about others that you really want to save people from themselves.
Bless you for all you do for me and for others that I know, and those that I don't know. You do so much for so many, and you're absolutely world-class skilled at what you do and what you've done for me. You've applied to me. I'm just blessed to know you, much less interact with you the way I do and benefit from what you know and how you do it. And I can't wait to see more people benefit from what you offer. And yeah, I mean, you've changed my life forever, dude. And I know you already know that, but I have to say it every day, multiple times, because I'm so grateful and I love you so much, and I'm just blessed. And I hope others see this and choose to be as blessed as I am.
Thank you very much. Yeah, your words mean a lot to me. And anybody who happens to want to come on here and talk with us, please let me know, because I would be open to bringing anyone on who wants to have a conversation about their situation with us. That would be, I think, a wonderful opportunity for people to learn and for you to be able to share wisdom with them, because you've been there. You've been there and you are there. And I think people can truly benefit from that. And I would love to see that happen. So just go to IncrediBody.com or just comment below if you want. But if you want to do it privately, go to IncrediBody.com and go to the contact page and just let me know. Just tell me your story and why you want to come on, and I'll consider it. I love you, brother.
Love you, dude.
But if